In this video, I'm going to show you how to install hardware like handles or knobs on your cabinets, professionally done, plus a few tips along the way. Stay tuned, let's check it out. Hey everybody, I'm Aaron. Welcome back to How To with Aaron. So let's go ahead and get right into it. For this job, you're gonna need a few things. A drill, definitely one of them. I like to use a 3/16 tapered bit. You can find your point better and it seems to work better. I like to use an impact to put them on. You could, however, also use a screwdriver. Number 2 Phillips bit typically. You're gonna need something to cut some screws because for the drawers, a lot of times you get longer perforated screws, so you have to select the size. Knife, it's good to open up your bag of hardware. Sharp pencil, tape measure. You can have one of these and maybe a roll of tape as well. I'll show you why. So one important thing you always want to remember is to make sure your doors are swinging the way you think they're swinging, because you don't want to drill into a hinge side of the door.
Hopefully you can find some value in this video. If you do, please consider liking and subscribing.
Trick number 1. Okay, so there's our hinges. Our doors open this way. Super easy. Now we're going to start with our hardware. The first thing you're going to want to do is measure the distance between your 2 holes here. So you can put your tape on 0 and see that this is 5 and 1/16. I, however, like to cut 1 just in case it was a 32nd and not a 16th. So it turns out it's still 5 and 1/16. How about that? So now we're going to come up to our door. There's a couple different ways to do this. I like to measure each one individually. And typically I start my hole even with this edge of the profile of the door. Some doors don't have profiles. We can show you that here in a little bit. But for this, we have 1 and 15/16. So we're going to put our first mark, 1 and 15, and that was 5 and 1 that we're going to, which would be 7 even. So once again, the door frame, these are the rails, these are the styles. The style here, 1 and 15/16. We're just going to call that 1. It's pretty close to center. Put a line right on 1 over top of your other line, make a little cross. Now maybe you're like me and you're hard of seeing. So you can take a piece of tape, put it there, and then do your pencil marks. So once again, we were at 1 and 15/16, and then on up to 7. Over here, once again at 1, then at 1. And obviously you can see these lines a lot better. So put that line right on 1 inch, once again, close enough to middle here. And now we're ready to drill. Anytime you're using power tools, please always wear eye protection. And a lot of times hearing protection too, but right now I want to be able to hear myself talk to you. So you see with this tapered bit, you can just get so perfectly on point. Real simple, drill a hole. Make sure you have a brand new sharp bit. Saves a lot of time and headache. So obviously I cannot open my doors because it's trim underneath and trim up top. So you can take one of your screws here, put it in just a little bit. There we go, nice and perfect. Put it on there first, just kind of snug. You want to get your hardware installed and take a look to see if it's level or not. Now that looks great. Now we want to tighten it down, sink it home for life. One more.
If you feel like you have all the instructions you need for doors, feel free to fast forward to 6 minutes, 42 seconds. We have some drawer instructions there. We are going to go over some door profiles before that, so maybe you want to hang around, maybe you don't. Anyways, check it out.
Sink it home, good to go. Perfectly straight hardware. So like I was saying earlier, sometimes your doors are different. Upstairs we had a nice profile door, so we had a frame around it, panel in the middle. These are just slab doors, straight 3/4 of an inch thick. So down here, our measurements were a little bit different than what they were upstairs. With a non-profile door, you kind of want it in a little further and up a little higher so it looks like it belongs somewhere and it's not too close to the edge. So here we did 2 5/8, which goes up to 7 11. That's our 5 1/16. And then over we did a little bit more than 1. We went to 1 1/4 this time. Real simple. Go ahead and mark out these others real quick. Great, done marking it out. Now we're gonna drill it. Now, this material here is known for breaking out of the back when you screw it. Try to go gentle so that doesn't happen. Or, tip alert, you can clamp a board behind here, and as you're drilling through, this won't bust out, it'll just go into your board. Perfect win. Sorry I don't have a board to show you as an example.
A few moments later.
Great, now that that's done, let's go back upstairs and see how the kitchen's going. Now we're gonna do our drawers. So the easiest way to figure out exactly where your hardware is going, put you a little line. Our hardware was 5 1/16 between the screws, so put you a line there. Measure from the other side, and you've got 18 3/4. So you want to split 18 3/4 in half, which is going to be 9 3/8. Plus 5 1/16 would be 14 7/16. Now we got to put our horizontal line. So this drawer is, we're going to call it 5 7/8. So half of that would be 2 15/16. And we're ready to drill. Once again, put your glasses on. Open the drawer, make sure you're not drilling into anything. Look at that, that would have been bad. Nice and easy. Don't rush through this. One of the most important things about this is keeping your drill perfectly even with the door. You want it level, you want your bit as straight as possible. If you do it at a bit of an angle, your screw is going to be at a bit of an angle, which makes your hardware crooked, and we don't want crooked hardware. These screws here are the perforated screws I was telling you about. You can select the length on these things, so when you put it in here, you see how far it sticks out. Now you say that might be short enough, and it may be, but I know from experience that the hole on these is very shallow, so we're gonna go ahead and cut. I like to use a pair of electrician's Kleins here. We got 2 of them. Pop your screws in. Once again, just set it lightly. I'm gonna make sure we're level here. Looks pretty good. Tighten it up. So now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna knock out the rest of this wall real quick. I'll be right back. Whew, that was fast. So simple job. Anybody can do it. Now that you have a little bit of how-to knowledge, you can do it as well. So one thing I forgot to mention at the beginning is getting all of your reveals nice and even. You want to do that first, because if you don't do that first, your drawers will get locked into that position once you get your hardware on, and then you're stuck. So always get it right to begin with. Now this was a real simple job, only 22 pieces of hardware. In the event you're running an entire house, they make these sweet jigs here. I will have a video for that later, showing you exactly how to use them. I'll also have a video showing you how to do adjustments on doors, drawers, and things of that nature. So join us next time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.